Hey guys, Desiree here with Soul Path Astrology and this week's Oracle card readings. I do encourage you, this video is for card two. I encourage you to watch till the end because there'll be a link to both card one and card three on the screen. These really do go together this week. And sometimes it takes me a bit, in these videos to really tap into the really meaty, juicy part. So stick with me, watch through it, get to 2 or 3 minutes, because that's usually when I manage to drop into where the really good stuff is. So I encourage you with that. Okay, without further ado, card two, video two. We have the Four of Pentacles reversed. So this came up for me earlier in a reading today as well. And often my videos, my readings for this general reading do really have a lot to do with what's going on in my personal life, as does oftentimes the clientele that are drawn towards getting readings with me. So it works out really cool. The universe works well like that, in that she resources things. It's almost like recycling information, right? So let's talk about the Four of Pentacles. There's a few interpretations about this card. There's an energy when it's reversed of feeling self-protective, of a quality of greed, which I'm going to riff on a little deeper here in a minute, and also a quality of just bringing your awareness to what your relationship is to material goods. Like, do you have a healthy relationship with things and with stuff and with money? Or do you find that you're often almost panicking trying to acquire more, and that no matter how much you have, it's never enough? Or maybe you're trading your health, or you're trading important relationships for income, and maybe that needs to be reassessed. So that's one part of it. The other part that's really landing for me has a lot to do with greed. It has to do with our shadows, right? It's reversed too. So this can also be another interpretation of reverse cards, is showing us our shadow sides, the things that we don't want to look at, the things that we have shame around, or that we have a sense of fear of getting caught. If somebody finds out that we have this quality within us, or something that's a motivation within us. And so I've been contemplating on greed a lot, actually, because it's the shadow to one of my gene keys, one of my really important gene keys. And the gift is aspiration. And I love that word, aspiration, because, aspire, it has the word in its root of breath, right? So expansion and growth in and of themselves are natural and they're good. But what's been coming up for me is like questioning, where is it the difference between having aspirations, so having esprit, having breath be the motivation behind it, versus having like a sense of, oh, it's not coming to me, but it's another A word that means that, like, but it's not quite so positive. It's ambition, right? So especially as a woman, like, you're taught like to be ambitious makes you unattractive, or it's greedy, or it's selfish, or you're stepping on people's heads or their shoulders, like pushing them down to get to the top, that your well-being is the most important, and ugh, that's such a bad thing. And so it gets pushed, right? This is what I mean. It gets pushed down into our shadows. But of course, your well being is going to matter to you, especially when you consider it from like a first step in self actualizing and self awareness. Like, it would be ridiculous to think or to expect a baby to be putting the needs of others ahead of its own. And if you've been conditioned deeply that you're not allowed to put your needs first, then you're going to repress this a lot in your life, right? And then it winds up coming up in these distorted, uncomfortable, inappropriate ways as you're trying to get your needs met. So, this invitation with this card is like, I double dog dare you to own your greed, own your selfishness, own your desire to aspire, own your desire to have ambition. That really, it can become altruistic when you bring it into your conscious awareness, because the more you have, the more of yourself that you access, that you resource, right? That you collect and bring into you resources for the expression of the fullness of your gift. That's the fullest of your gift. And when you're selfless in a sort of incorrect way, when you're actually sort of like a false martyr thing, it winds up coming where you actually wind up producing the very situation you're trying to avoid. So I don't want to be a user. I don't want to come across as somebody that just, is always just trying to upgrade her life in and willy-nilly tossing people aside. You'll actually inevitably wind up creating that in the attempt to not create it. So bring it forth. Like just really own that there is within you this drive to feel safe, to feel resourced, to feel secure, and to expand. Right? To want more is a very natural thing, right? So bring it into your conscious awareness. Bring some ease around it, bring some friendship to it, and see if you can find ways to feed the need for aspiration, to feed the need to feel secure in ways that are conscious and that are healthy. And if that's something that you want to work on with me, if you want to have someone hold a mirror up for you where you can maybe get a better look at where that's playing out in your life, I would love to help. That's absolutely what we do with these readings. The links will be in the description of the video and in comments. Also, at the end of the video here, I am going to have a link to each other card because this week especially, they go together. There's really a synergy that's working with these three cards, and I'd highly recommend that you watch all three videos. And lastly, like, love, share always, and your comments are so deeply appreciated. I love hearing about how things land for you guys. So if you feel compelled, if you feel inspired, if you aspire to be a commenter, please do leave one. And I look forward very much to seeing you guys next week. Okay, bye for now.